Now this is definitely not your average run-of-the-mill computer system speaker setup, but rather something special. It has 166 watts of total power and comes with dual subs. It is the Aurion Deep Sonar 750. The box looks great, plus it's very informative with plenty of pictures as well as features and specifications. It's nicely packaged, everything has its place. Here's the user's manual, the control box, and an accessory box. Inside, they include the brick, the power cord, and all the cables. And at the bottom is the subwoofer and the two satellite speakers, and they're all in plastic bags. One very important thing here to note is the independent amps, and they power the subwoofers using two independent circuits, and of course that's going to give you some major boom boom, which is what you want. Remember I mentioned 166 watts? Well, that's actually the peak wattage. The RMS is 73 watts. Each of the satellites is 10.5 watts and the subwoofer is 26 watts, and the frequency response is from 20 to 20,000 hertz. Now each of the satellite speakers come with two mid-range drivers and a tweeter at the top, and it measures in at 4.18 by 10.56 by 5.99 inches. And the subwoofer comes with two 5.25 inch drivers as well as two ports at the back. It measures in at 9.77 by 13.43 by 11.26 inches. Now let's have a closer look. As you can see, they have their name stamped in the subwoofer as well as the satellites. And by the way, this is wood and not plastic. That's going to reproduce sound a lot better, although the fronts are plastic here and there's some shiny bits, and unfortunately that's going to attract dust and fingerprints pretty darn easily. To protect the drivers, there's mesh that also looks awesome. At the back of each satellite speaker is the connection, and by the way, it is labeled, so there's no way to mess this up. Also at the back of the subwoofer, there are the connections, and of course all the connections would go into the control box at the very top. But everything overall here looks awesome, and certainly it's going to look great next to your computer system. The control unit measures in at 6.5 by 1.97 by 6.11 inches. It looks great. Again, shiny at the front. You've kind of got this matte black at the top, and ventilation. At the front is a USB charging port and inputs. You have the microphone, headphone, and as well another 3.5 millimeter jack. This one, of course, is for connecting, whether it be a tablet, MP3 player, or whatever into. A source switch, input 1 and input 2. And by the way, input 2 is at the front, input 1 is at the back, so you can switch between them on the fly. Here's the power button. When you turn that on, you can see that there's an LED around the volume knob. As well, they include bass and treble knobs. Oh, and when you change the source, the LED around the volume knob will also change. Very handy. Input 1 is blue and input 2 is red. And there's more ventilation at the bottom, plus rubber feet throughout on the control box, plus the satellites and the subwoofer. At the back of the control box, you have a number of RCA jacks as well as a 3.5 millimeter mic output jack. So this is input 1. You'd connect both satellite speakers here and both subwoofers here, and here is where you connect the power adapter. Now thankfully the cables that they include are nice and long, so it's going to give you some distance between everything. 10 feet between the left and right satellite speakers, 6.5 feet between the subwoofer and the control box, 8.5 feet between the control box and the power amplifier, and 6.5 feet between the PC and the control box. Now I could turn this system on and you could have a listen on camera, but that would be pointless because you're not going to experience that thump and the overall clarity of the system. It is $150, and for that you are getting a lot of bang for your buck. I mean, the satellites have two fantastic mid-range drivers and a tweeter, two subwoofers here, a control unit with lots of inputs. You cannot go wrong. Now keep in mind that it doesn't come with Bluetooth, but what they've done here is package quality into wooden cabinets to give you an amazing overall sound. And with that being said, this is one of the very best audio systems for the money currently on the market. Without a doubt, this is a 100% kick-ass product. Until next time, take care.